So what is the iPhone 16 missing? It's an awesome phone, but in 2024, it really lags behind a lot of other phones available for the same price or even cheaper. So let's go ahead and tell you all about what is missing from the iPhone 16. So the first thing I'm going to start off with that I don't like about the iPhone 16 and what's missing is the physical nano SIM card slot. Android phones still use a combination of eSIM and nano SIM. The iPhone 16 doesn't have the nano SIM card slot, only eSIM, and that makes it very hard for people that want to easily swap in and out SIM cards to change their phone number, their data plans. This is especially true when traveling. It's a real pain in the butt. You have to go through an app or scan a QR code, or depending on your carrier, you might not even have eSIM option. So it's very terrible, very frustrating when all other Android phones pretty much at every price point now have eSIM and nano SIM still available. Next thing that the iPhone 16 is missing is a high refresh rate screen, specifically 120 hertz. That is only found on the iPhone 16 Pro model. It's been like this for a number of years. The iPhone still uses 60 hertz refresh rate, and they haven't made any attempt to make it faster. Free, cheap Android phones have at least 90 hertz, and most of them now have 120 hertz refresh rate. That should not be a Pro option anymore. You shouldn't pay $1,000 to have that high refresh rate. Still talking about the screen, and also what it's missing from the screen is an always on display. That is also another Pro feature, $1,000 price tag, while base model Samsung phones, base model Pixel phones, those have that available, and it's been like that even on cheaper devices. So having an always on display is very simple. All you gotta do is show the notifications and the time, and Apple is still just using that as a Pro feature, so very disappointing. Next thing the iPhone 16 is lacking is gestures, and that's specifically an Android thing. I like the Motorola phones where you could activate the flashlight by doing a chopping motion. You could take a screenshot by using 3 fingers resting on the displays to take a quick screenshot. The only thing that the iPhone has is the tap back feature, but I also like you flipping your phone over with Motorola, so you could put it on do not disturb mode. You could use when taking pictures, you could raise your hand, your palm, or even smiling will activate taking a picture or video. So there's a lot of these like simple features. Another thing, like for example, on Android phones now, is I like the fact that you could just kind of simply swipe to the from the side, and you could bring up some like quick shortcut apps. So little things like that here and there from Android phones at really cheap price points. Yeah, that's something that's really missing on the iPhone 16. Next, it's not really a big thing, but I wouldn't mind seeing a stylus on the iPhone. It just makes sense now because that's an advantage that even a free cheap Android phone has now. Steve Jobs never wanted a stylus. They already have an Apple Pencil on the iPad, so why not just bring that to the iPhone? I bet you a lot of people will switch by having that. It's not that super useful, but if you want to jot down something, or if you want to sign something, or just for any little thing, having the option of a stylus, it might make the difference. Next, the telephoto camera. Yeah, the base model iPhone does not have that. That is another Pro feature. Samsung has that third camera on the back. So just bring it down to this phone's already $830 if you want to fully unlock. Just give us that feature. That is like something standard now on affordable Android phones. Bring that to the iPhone. Next, I do want to see the iPhone have a fingerprint reader, because the Face ID is okay, but I wouldn't mind having that option. Samsung and Pixels, they have the face unlock as well. Also with the in-screen fingerprint reader. But I wouldn't even mind if they just put the fingerprint reader on the iPhone on the side power button, for example, like they do on iPads. That would bring it to a whole new level, all these unlocking options. The next thing that the iPhone 16 is lacking, and I'll make this the last one, is storage. 128 gigs for a $800 device. I think it's unacceptable now, especially since you can't upgrade the storage on the iPhone. Free cheap Android phones are even being equipped with 256 gigs of internal storage, and on top of that, you could probably add it on with the SD card slot. So for the price that we're paying, the storage should be more for sure. So although the iPhone 16 is a great device for most people in most situations, it wouldn't hurt to bring all these features to the iPhone, and it would just make it a lot better of experience. If the cheaper, more affordable competitors in the Android world can offer these, there's no excuse for Apple not to add at least some of these features to the base model iPhone and not just keep it for the Pro models at $1,000. So that's been my take on, this is what the iPhone 16 is missing.